Days after the first in-person summit of the leaders of the Quad countries, Beijing has once again issued a veiled threat to India. During a recent speech, the Chinese ambassador to India, Sun Weidong, said, I'm quoting, "We should adhere to the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence, respect the core interests and major concerns of each other, uphold strategic autonomy, and refrain from interfering in each other's internal affairs or engaging in any alliance or quasi-alliance targeting the other." For China, Quad is a quasi-alliance. Earlier, in fact, Beijing had called it a warning that comes in days after the first in-person Quad summit hosted at the White House by U.S. President Joe Biden. The summit was attended by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, and the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. Quad leaders say the security alliance of these 4 leading democracies of the world is aimed at upholding international law and order, especially in the Indo-Pacific region. The Quad has also vowed to produce billions of vaccine doses in India to boost supply to the Southeast Asian countries. However, some have dubbed Quad as the Asian NATO. The question is China worried about all such international alliances, or is Beijing only spooked by the Quad alliance of democratic countries? Interestingly, in the same speech, the Chinese ambassador was keen to highlight the importance of other blocs where Beijing has a seat. Sun Weidong, in fact, urged India to promote the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the BRICS organization. Both India and China are part of the SCO and BRICS grouping. So it's quite clear China only has an issue with the Quad security alliance. But why exactly is China so rattled by the Quad alliance? Firstly, the combined military might of the Quad countries has the potential to nullify any Chinese threat. The Quad provides stability to Southeast Asia against Chinese expansionist ambitions. The Quad has vowed to uphold international law and maritime security in the South China Sea. Enhanced economic cooperation within the Quad can overcome dependence on Chinese supply chains. Quad can undermine Chinese sphere of influence in Southeast Asia. China has diplomatic rows with every Quad country. US-China trade war, Washington support to Taiwan also irking the CPC authorities. China imposed restrictions on Australian goods after Canberra demanded an independent international probe on the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic, while Chinese and Japanese militaries often trade threats over the Senkaku Islands. Tensions with India also escalated last year. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, Chinese troops violated the line of actual control in the Ladakh region, leading to a fistfight in the Galwan Valley. Both sides suffered casualties. While China pulled back troops from the Pangong Tso region, tensions remain high in other areas along the LAC. In retaliation for challenging India's sovereignty, New Delhi hit China where it hurt the most. India banned over 100 Chinese apps and imposed restrictions and conditions on bilateral trade. While Chinese troops continue their aggressive posturing at the LAC, Beijing wants India to lift restrictions on trade. Sun Weidong says, I'm quoting, "We should provide a fair and just business environment for companies from both countries to invest and operate rather than impose discriminatory and restrictive measures on them," quote unquote. Let's go straight across now to our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, who's joining us live on the broadcast. And not for the first time, Siddhant, that China seems rattled by the Quad grouping. How is this comment by China being perceived?
Well, these comments are in line with what Beijing has been saying about Quad. And before that, in fact, Beijing has made much more nasty comments calling Quad as an Asian NATO. And this has been dismissed by Quad member countries, including by the Indian side. In fact, the Indian External Affairs Minister back then had said that this is a reflection of Cold War mentality. This time, of course, there hasn't been any reaction, but everyone knows that there is a general insecurity in Beijing regarding the Quad grouping. Quad first met virtually, and now just last week Quad met in person. What are the key outcome of the in-person meeting, other than, of course, various initiatives, whether it's 5G, infrastructure, fellowship, was the fact that all the four leaders met in person amidst pandemic. That is a message to Beijing, and Beijing looks very rattled about it. We can expect more comments by Beijing, and as you rightly pointed out, while Beijing has no problem with other groupings, whether it's SCO, BRICS, it has a lot of problem with Quad, and this coming in the backdrop of the AUKUS Security Pact, under which the Australians get nuclear submarines thanks to the Americans and the Brits. This is a trilateral security pact. But by and large, what Quad countries have been saying, that this is not directed at any country. It is about cooperating on convergences, and that is what Quad countries have been doing. But ultimately, the current changes in the global geopolitics is an outcome, a direct outcome of China's hegemonic actions, whether it's with India, the line of actual control, whether it's with Japan at Senkaku Islands, with Australia, the trade war. So multiple actions have given rise to new kind of formations based on alliances, on making sure that one country does not use its economic or military might to try to create problems for other countries in the region and across the world as well.
All right, Siddhant Sibal, we're leaving it there for the moment. Thanks very much for joining us with those inputs. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.